Episode 91, Murphy's Rant number 3, Rainbow Washing and Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion TV Advertising. So what am I ranting about today? Have you noticed that the television industry thinks that all judges are black women and that two hand-holding men with a child is a standard American family, and one more, that more than 50% of marriages are biracial? Did you know that? No? Get with it. Pay attention to TV shows and its commercials, you bigot, you Neanderthal. So I am making a dissenting statement here that should be accepted by all clear-thinking Americans. Television should help viewers get the kind of information they need to act as responsible citizens, but not manipulate and confuse them. And that should mean both in the advertising and in the content of television. Madison Ave is a synonym for the advertising industry. I will use that term in this rant. I will attempt to provide here a critical analysis of an industry-wide billion-dollar attempt by Madison Ave to convert the average American's mind, emotions, and will by propaganda via the media. I am making that statement as an observant TV viewer, but not as an expert. Why are they doing this is unknown to me, but I suspect anti-Christian and satanic reasons. Both within the storyline of TV shows and in the commercials, you will see furtively many examples of fresh-faced couples with a white wife and a black husband, or the opposite. I have nothing against that except its TV overabundance. And within TV fictional stories and commercials, it seems that almost all black-robed judges are also black-skinned judges and mostly black women judges. And too often, TV viewers will see smiling same-sex couples as parents of cute kids. None of that is statistically realistic. So why does Madison Ave do it? That is my rant. So let's look into it. Homosexual groups complain bitterly about what they call rainbow washing. The Urban Dictionary says it is the act of using or adding rainbow colors and/or images to indicate support for LGBTQ, but with a minimum of effort. In other words, corporate talking the talk but not walking the walk in their commercials. Homosexual groups want those corporations to do more than ads to sway Americans to think that homosexuality is normal. Fat chance. Corporations will say and do anything to get sales without any integrity. Commercials for Disney or drugs or insurance or furniture often feature fast-changing sequential shots of groups of smiling, happy people. That is where Madison Ave puts the least offensive shot of homosexual couples mixed in with more normal people images. The psychological term for that is, quote, structuring the consciousness of a group, unquote, or, quote, promoting counterproductive stereotypes, unquote. And those manipulative actions are also used to represent black women as just about the only judges and biracial marriages as the norm, when it is really only 1% of couples. Why do they do that? How are we to expect clarity in a genre that is built on making the artificial seem real? The viewer's attitudes, opinions, and perceptions be damned. And also, that type of rainbow washing is never used by Madison Ave to support more traditional groups like Roman Catholics, Second Amendment supporters, or pro-lifers. How about anti-abortion washing? Why not? As for me, I use the TV mute button for every commercial. On one recent occasion, a few of my grandkids and I were watching TV, and they were amazed at my use of the mute button. I hope they learned something valuable. Masculine images typically convey power and strength, virility, athleticism, and competitiveness, whereas feminine images show beauty and submissiveness, nurture, and cooperation. Such themes formerly appeared on TV repeatedly, including in advertisements, and were accepted by those who saw them as natural aspects of the human condition. Not so much now on Madison Avenue. The ad agencies spend lots of money on consumer marketing research, but ad folks know that finding polling people is very difficult because phones go unanswered. Ad folks also know that just like election polls, ordinary Americans lie to pollsters. So the ad agencies' collected data becomes suspect. Also, too often, ad people are unmarried Karens from Ivy League type colleges. Unmarried women in the recent election voted Democrat 68% to 31% Republican. So there is a marriage gap. Married women voted Republican along with the majorities of both married and unmarried men. In my opinion, in spite of the supposed role of advertising as not necessarily to gain maximum eyeballs, but rather to convert the limited number of eyeballs watching a specific ad. That seems to be flaunted by those Karen types who are putting their thumbs on the scale for radical causes. Even if lots of television viewers probably realize they are being hoodwinked, the least educated viewers are more likely to rely disproportionately on television as their primary source of information and thereby have a false opinion on many important things. How to fix that problem? Who knows? I don't. So I rant. This is Rod Murphy. Thank you for viewing or listening to my podcast episodes. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, and if you so choose, I ask you to send a good review and or refer a friend who might be interested in this Old Boston podcast series. Again, my thanks.